Okay, welcome to Precalculus online instruction. Hope you all are being safe and relaxing at home. And what I'm going to do is show you how to do this first problem here and then have you practice some. It's a good idea to take notes. If we come back to school and you've got your notebook, you'll be able to have this as a permanent instruction to look at. But when you're asked to solve a right triangle, you want to find every part that you don't know. So we're looking for this angle here. And because 180 is in all three, you're looking at 90 plus 32, making 122, and then 180 minus 122 is 58. So this angle up here is 58 degrees. When you want to find the sides you don't know, use the Pythagorean theorem, and that would be 7 squared. No, that would be 4 squared in this case, plus b squared equals 7 squared, and that's because your hypotenuse is always the c side. So that's going to be 16 plus b squared equals 49. Take away 16 from both sides. And y squared equals 33. Take the square root, y squared. Getting a little ahead of myself, sorry. B squared equals 33. So that b is equal to square root of 33. Now I think that comes out to be 5 point something here. So let me get my calculator. Just be exact. Second function, square root of 33. And you get an answer of 5.74. Okay. All right. Go ahead and try this one now on your own. Pause the video. And I'll be right back. Okay, you should have got answers of 17 and 48 degrees. Okay, the only difference in this one is that we didn't know c squared. That was what we were looking for. Can you try this problem on your own? Pause the video if you remember how. Okay, on this problem here, the kite is 45 feet vertically above the ground. So we'll put a 45 feet there. And the length of the string is 70, so we'll put a 70 here. And the angle of elevation is between the ground and the string, so we're looking for an angle right down here for the angle of elevation. This is making 90 right here. Well, remember the sine of any angle is opposite over hypotenuse, so it's 45 over 70, which means the inverse sine of 45 over 70 will take you back to the angle. So in your calculator, make sure you're in degree mode. Second function, inverse sine of 45 divided by 70 gives me a final answer of 40, approximately 40 degrees. So if you got approximately 40, you were successful. Go ahead and try this one now. This is doing an angle of depression, which I have a picture of for you. I'll pause the video and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm not going to work it out for you, but you should have got about 31 degrees. Couple of ways you could have done it. You could have said, since this side was 68 and this side was 132, find the inverse cosine of 68 over 132, because that's cosine, remember, is adjacent over hypotenuse. And then subtract all that from 90. The whole thing's 90. All right, so I think this came out to be 59 approximately. And then this would be 31 degrees. Hiker leaves a ranger station and hikes 3.8 miles on a bearing of south 48 degrees east. If you can do this problem, pause it and work it out and then come back. All right, what you want to do on this one is obviously draw a nice picture. So I'm going to move this down for now. And we'll draw a picture here. And what you're looking at is, if you hike 3.8 miles on a bearing of south 48, okay, north and south, south is here, north is up, and east would be on this side and west on this side. South 48, it always plays off of the north-south line. So there's 48 degrees right there for my bearing, going towards the south, going towards the east. And it says he does this for 3.8, so we're going to write a 3.8 in here and stop the hiker about right there. And it takes a 90-degree counterclockwise turn. Well, a clock turns like this. Okay, that's the direction of a clock. So counterclockwise is going to be spinning like that. So you got to think about being right here and spinning in this kind of a direction. That means your line is coming up like that to make 90. Okay, so there's your 90 because you're spinning counterclockwise. You're lifting an invisible line up from that direction to make it 90. And he does that for 5 miles. And now we want to know how far he is from the station. Well, the station's right there to begin with, and right here's where he ends up. Once again, using a squared plus b squared equals c squared, 3.8 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared is going to give us 3.8 squared plus 25. All right, that totals 39.44. I know you guys are smart enough to how to figure that out. Just square the numbers and add them. Then take the square root of that, and it's going to be 6 something. So second function square root of the answer, 6.3. It says to the nearest hundredth, so we'll say 6.28. That's what I'm seeing in mind. So we answered the first part. But now we want to know the hiker's bearing. Down here, the second question was the hiker's bearing to the nearest 100th degree from the ranger station. Okay, from the ranger station, that's a key point. So this is where we've got to do a little thinking and say that right here's the ranger station, and this north-south line is what we're trying to play off of. Let me bring this down here. Okay. Again, the bearing to the nearest 100th from the ranger station. If the hiker's right here, we're trying to find this angle. All right. There's a couple of ways we could do this. All right. We could simply say, we know this is 48 degrees right here, and we know there's a 90 right there. That makes 42 right here. Okay. 90 degrees minus the 48. This big angle right here, okay, in the triangle can be determined, I'll use green, we'll call it the green angle, can be determined by saying inverse sine of 5 over 6.28, because opposite over hypotenuse. So if I do inverse sine of 5 over 6.28, I get an angle of 52.77. Okay, so let's write that on there, 52.77. That doesn't answer the question, but it gets us very close because of this. Excuse me. We said this was 42 right here, this blue one. So if this blue one is 42 right there, all right, and the whole thing's 52.77, well, then take away 42. Take away the 42 part. I messed that up a little bit. Let me go back. This right here is 42. Okay. The whole thing's 52.77. If you take away the 42, then this little angle right in here, okay, would be 10.77. If you're doing it an easier way or did it an easier way, you found another way, fine, that's fine. But this is what I'm looking at. If that little angle there is 10.77, remember the whole thing is 90. So 90 minus 10.77, 90 minus 10.77 is 79.23. That makes 79.23 this angle here that we wanted. Okay, there's the hiker, there's the station playing off the north-south line. So you're looking at a bearing, to answer question B, of north 79.23 degrees east. Okay? All right, the next problem is very similar. So go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. Welcome back. Okay. You should have got answers of 3.09 miles and south 2596. Okay, if you didn't get that, call some friends to help you. You can email me, I can help you. But real quick, because you were going like this with 35 degrees, and it said it was clockwise, that's going this way. So your angle's coming, it's like a line coming up invisibly in this direction, all right, making the 90 right there, okay? If you didn't, that might be the hardest part. So, all right, go ahead and copy these homework problems down and do this for good practice. I should have told you from the beginning, this is just a review today, but 1 to 61 every fourth. So start on number 1, then go to number 5, then go to 9, then go to 13. With the odds, you got the answers in the book to give you some help. All right, look for tomorrow's video coming up tomorrow. All right, thanks.